The World Cup is almost over. 48 countries competing against each other to win it all. At the MetLife Stadium, in just a few days, a new champion is going to get crowned.
But 8,000 miles from the stadium, none of that matters.
Because the streets are bustling with people wearing their favorite jerseys, neighborhoods covered in different countries' flags, and markets unable to keep up with the demand for jerseys. The shopkeepers complaining that they're having a hard time restocking. This is Bangladesh, 170 million people, and they have never once qualified for the World Cup. But arguably, they have one of the biggest fan bases of both Argentina and Brazil in Bangladesh. It doesn't just stop at Bangladesh. The whole South Asia is obsessed with the World Cup. People in Kerala, South India are raising the flags of their favorite teams. People in Karachi are watching the games together at local city points. But no one, I repeat, no one matches the craze and the obsession for the game more than the people of Bangladesh. And that's what we're going to discuss today. Hello everyone. My name is Sabit and you're watching Sabit Explains. And today we dig deep into one of the most craziest and obsessed fan bases of football in South Asia. After watching these videos, you might be wondering why these two nations? Why not England, the country who created the sport and spread it all across the globe? In order to find out the answer for that question, we'd have to go back to the 1960s and 70s. In the 70s, the region was in turmoil. The people were looking for a hero, and they found one.
9,000 miles away.
In Brazil, by the name of the player Pelé. Pelé gave the people a hope to beat the colonial powers in their own game. Then came the 1980s. The first World Cup that most Bangladeshi households ever watched in color TV. And Diego Maradona does the unthinkable. He beats England 4 years after the Falkland Wars, with a goal half scored by his own hand, which he never fully admitted to. To millions in Bangladesh, this wasn't cheating. This was a revenge on a former colonial power in their own game, delivered by a genius who didn't care if he got caught. Then, in 1990, Argentina loses the World Cup final against England, and Diego Maradona cried on live TV. That was the moment that sealed the deal between the love of Argentina and Bangladesh. For many Bangladeshi people, that moment was etched in their memories, which they passed down to their kids and grandkids. Which is why in Bangladesh, you don't just choose Argentina and Brazil, you inherit them. Brazil had the most championships, so some people went that route. Diego Maradona gave people hope and a heartbreak, and some people followed Argentina. And to this day, the craze is only getting bigger. Between these two nations of Brazil and Argentina, there was no space for any other countries. Not even Italy, not even Germany, not even Spain. Since May of 2026, the whole Bangladesh has been in war with itself. Neighbors fighting with neighbors for their favorite teams. Streets going against streets. Brother going against brother. Husband going against wife. Because either one of them support Argentina or Brazil. Rural villages in Bangladesh are rushing to create the biggest banners for their favorite teams. Giant cutouts of Messi towering over residential streets. Jerseys flying off the shelves in Dhaka for about $3 each. And vendors say they can't restock fast enough. Some villages didn't stop at flags. Some people painted their own homes in the color of Argentina's blue or Brazil's green and yellow. It is one of the craziest obsession for football in the entire planet, for sure. Nobody in Rio or Buenos Aires is funding this. People of Bangladesh are spending their own money to support their own favorite teams or players. There are reports of people selling their lands, breaking their savings account to create the biggest flags they can make, to make the biggest jerseys of Argentina team or the Brazil team. Picture this, thousands of fans coming together to watch Argentina match at the Dhaka University location. People from all aspects of life, all aspects of profession, coming together to watch their favorite teams perform. Fathers coming in with their sons, university students coming in with their friend groups, colleagues coming in with their co-workers. The list goes on. And this is where things go weirdly crazy, because the news media of Bangladesh hasn't just been filled up with the craze of fans. It's been filled with wild stories of fans doing unthinkable acts for their favorite teams. Meet Amjad. Mr. Amjad Hussain, a 72-year-old person who reportedly sold parts of his land, to fund a flag 7.5 kilometers long, not even for Brazil or Argentina, for Germany. The reporters ask, why did you decide to do it? He mentions that he dreams of this flag being taken to one of Germany's museums one day. Then Norway saw an opening. The Norwegian embassy decided to make a post addressing the citizens of Bangladesh, saying that Norway was one of the first countries to identify or recognize the independence of Bangladesh, and they wanted some support from the Bangladeshi people for the Norwegian team who qualified for the World Cup after 28 years. But here's the part that nobody talks about that seriously, because this obsession also has a body count. In 2014, at least 3 people have died hanging flags from live electrical wire. In 2018, a 12-year-old boy was also electrocuted doing the same exact thing. That same year, a father and his son were critically injured in clashes between rival fan processions. And just last month, a friendly match between Argentina and Brazil happened in a rural village of Hobiganj, Bangladesh, where both the teams got into a bad fight and several people got injured. Now let's flip it and look at one of the positive news that came out for Bangladesh during this World Cup. At one of the opening ceremonies of the World Cup, a Bangladesh origin artist by the name of Sanjoy Deb took over the stage wearing a jacket embroidered with a Bengal tiger and a water lily and the red and green of the Bangladeshi flag. He performed in front of the global audiences, and he mentioned that he wanted the world to see Bangladesh as something more than just a jersey. And even inside the Bangladesh's own national team, craze of Brazil and Argentina doesn't stop. The country's goalkeeper, Anisur Rahman Zico, is a diehard Brazil fan. And when in this World Cup Brazil got out of the group stages, all the people in Bangladesh started trolling him online for his support for Brazil. Imagine your own national team player getting roasted by the citizens of that nation for supporting another country. The levels of craze and obsession for football doesn't end. This isn't just background noise anymore. This is the front page news for Bangladesh week after week, day after day. In one of the most populous countries on earth, they're going crazy over a tournament played in a different continent in which they don't even qualify. Here's a part that is quite interesting, because Argentina initially closed down their embassy in Dhaka in the year of 1978. Then, when the 2022 World Cup was won by Argentina, the fan obsession for Argentina went viral on social media. That caught the attention of several Argentinians worldwide, and they urged their government to open up relations with Bangladesh once again. Then, in 2023, the embassy was reopened. Bangladesh's own foreign ministry said it straight up, and I quote, "Our love for Argentine football accelerated the opening of the embassy." Argentina's foreign minister flew down to Bangladesh personally to thank the people of Bangladesh. Both the nations also signed treaties to support each other's football aspirations. Argentina opened up the doors to support Bangladesh national team. A fandom built entirely out of rooftop flags just reopened a 45-year-old shuttered embassy. That's how big this got. But here's the twist that no one saw coming. Bangladesh's own national football team is picking up their pace. In November 2025, Bangladesh beat India in a historic 1-0 win. After 22 years, Bangladesh was able to get this success with a goal scored by their homegrown 21-year-old forward named Sheikh Morsalee. This win in the football game gave Bangladesh their highest FIFA ranking in the last 9 years. So that gives you an idea about how impactful that game was for Bangladesh. And the demand for this team is just beyond insane. Like, for example, one of the matches that they had for the home qualifier tournament, they went up against Hong Kong, and believe it or not, 19,000 tickets sold for that match in 24 minutes. For the India match that we were discussing, the general seating sold out in 6 minutes. This insane demand for the tickets for Bangladesh's national football team is being seen by the administration, and they're now planning for a new stadium in Dhaka, which can accommodate that many people for Bangladesh's home matches. So you might have a question, how did the football in Bangladesh pick up suddenly? So the answer for that is Hamza Chaudhry, a Bangladesh national who plays in English Premier League for Leicester City and also played in Sheffield United, former England youth international, and he chose Bangladesh. Before a qualifier match against India, he stood up in front of the news media and in his Sylheti accent he mentioned, "We will win against India." And that gave a huge boost to the teammates and also the fans of Bangladesh national football team. They did. And he's not alone. There are other football players following the footsteps of Hamza Chaudhry. For example, Shamit Shom from Canada, Zayan Ahmed, Fahmidul Islam out of Italy. Behind them, the player who paved the way for foreign national Bangladeshis to come to Bangladesh to play for the national team. And that person is Danish Bangladeshi striker Jamal Bhuiyan and Finnish Bangladeshi footballer Tarek Kazi. These two individuals started the phenomenon of foreign-born Bangladeshis coming back to their roots to represent their country. The Bangladesh Football Federation also informed media that there are almost 30 foreign-born Bangladeshis who are interested in joining the national team. That is a huge list, considering that other countries in the neighboring of Bangladesh do not allow dual citizenship and does not allow foreign-born nationals to play in their national team. This gives the homegrown players an opportunity to train with the international level skilled players, and in the long term you can expect Bangladesh's own homegrown players to have higher skill set because of training with this international megastars. It's not just them. The women's football in Bangladesh is also doing a splendid job. For example, in 2025, Bangladesh's women's team qualified for the AFC Women's Asian Cup for the first time in the country's history, a milestone that barely made international news but made waves in the national news of Bangladesh. Investments are also flowing in for the national team of Bangladesh, as United Commercial Bank, one of the major banks in Bangladesh, decided to sponsor the men's national team for 5 years. 5 years is a long time, and it's the first time in Bangladesh's football history that a sponsorship has been given for 5 long years. And the Bashundhara Group of Bangladesh has decided to give their stadium and their facilities to the Bangladesh national football team for training purposes. That gives you an idea about how the private investments are flowing into the national sports of the country, which is a huge positive side for the longevity and the future of this sport. So, you might be asking, is Bangladesh still out of the 170 FIFA ranking? Yes, it is. You might also ask, did Bangladesh or India ever qualify for the FIFA World Cup? No, they haven't. But this start of the culture of Bangladesh's national football is giving hope to the new generation of Bangladeshis that we might be able to get to the World Cup one day. And these might be the people who might succeed in getting us to that level. The World Cup is almost over. For the rest of the world, the final results is just going to be another football news. But for Bangladesh, this is going to be a family news. And somewhere, the younger generation of Bangladesh is wondering if in the future World Cups, they would be able to bring their national flags and support their own national team in the World Cup. Because this isn't just about football. This is about who is going to be your hero when the world doesn't hand you one. Well, this has been the video, guys. My name is Sabit, and you've been watching Sabit Explains. Comment down below the craziest stories about fans you've heard around the world. And if you're from Brazil or Argentina, show some love to Bangladesh. Bye.